In K-pop Demon Hunters, there's one duo that steals the show without ever singing a note. No flashy solo, no transformation scene, just a clumsy tiger, and a suspicious little bird who seems to know everything before it happens. You probably remember them best from that romantic subplot between Rumi and Jinu. But here's the catch. You never actually hear their names in the movie. It wasn't until the director posted on social media that we learned who they really are. Derpy and Sussy. Derpy is a stitched-up, cat-like tiger who delivers letters and tries to fix fallen objects, but always, somehow, messes things up. Sussy is a sharp-eyed magpie with traffic light pupils, a stolen traditional hat, and just enough sass to keep everyone on their toes. Let's be honest, Derpy looks like a walking plushie, goofy, oversized, and constantly getting in the way. And Sussy? She's perched somewhere high, judging you quietly, probably smarter than the rest of the cast combined. But here's the thing, these two aren't just cute comic relief. They're a modern remix of an ancient Korean pairing, the tiger and the magpie. Wait, you thought Derpy was just clumsy? He's actually based on aristocracy. And Sussy? She might be the common folk flipping the script. You see, in Korean folk art, specifically Minhwa from the late Joseon dynasty, there's a recurring painting called jakhodo, or sometimes hojakdo. It shows a tiger and a magpie perched beneath a pine tree. But these weren't ordinary animals. The tiger? Always drawn with bulging eyes, lolling tongue, goofy expression. A satire, a jab at the upper class, mocking the Yangbon elites. The magpie, on the other hand? Quick, clever, usually smirking. It represented the cleverness of the common people. A messenger of good news, but also a quiet rebel. So, when you see Sussy wearing that little black scholar's hat, the gat, and Jinu says, "I made it for the tiger, but the bird keeps taking it." That's not just a throwaway line. That's a full-circle moment from centuries of visual history. In those paintings, the tiger protects, the magpie warns, and together, they form a balance of strength and wisdom. Guardians of the people. Now let's talk scenes. Remember when Rumi starts to panic before a performance? Derpy waddles over, just close enough. Her breathing slows, and you can feel it. He's taking that stress from her, holding it, absorbing it. And Sussy? She doesn't scream or panic. She chirps in patterns, 4 sharp chirps perfectly timed with Zoe's dance steps. When Zoe lands her move, boom. The seal breaks clean. No explosion, no injury, just rhythm, precision, and quiet protection. These two don't speak. They don't need to. But here's where things turn. Derpy and Sussy aren't protecting just anyone. They're watching over someone who doesn't even believe he deserves it. He's not just the cool bad boy with a smoky voice and flawless stage presence. He's torn between his demon past and his idol present. He's unraveling quietly. And Derpy? He's the only one who treats Jinu like he still belongs. When everyone else flinches at Jinu's darker moments, Derpy walks up, rests beside him, and leans gently. No words, just presence. And Sussy? She doesn't warn him, she supports him. In one moment, Jinu hesitates before going on stage. Sussy lets out a single soft chirp. Not a warning, a reassurance. But the folklore doesn't stop with animals. Let's talk about the Saja boys. On the surface, they're the world's hottest boy band. But behind the stage lights, they're demons. And that's no accident. Their entire image draws from Korean mythology, specifically the Jeoseung Saja, Korea's version of the Grim Reaper. In tradition, these figures were the afterlife's messengers, tasked with guiding souls under the command of King Yeomna, ruler of the underworld. You'd see them in old black hanbok and tall black hats. Sound familiar? Even their modern look, sleek suits and silent gazes, mirrors how Grim Reapers have evolved in Korean dramas like Goblin and Tomorrow. The difference? Now they sing. And if you spotted that mountain and moon backdrop during Huntrix's final performance, guess what? That wasn't just stage design. That entire performance is framed by the Irwarabongdo, a traditional folding screen that once stood behind royal thrones in Joseon palaces. The sun, the moon, 5 mountain peaks, pine trees. It was more than art. It was a symbol of authority, meant to represent the king's divine presence and the cosmic order of the universe. So when Huntrix sings Golden on that stage, that's not just a girl group slaying a finale. That's a royal declaration, a reclaiming of power. Wrapped in myth, delivered through K-pop. Meanwhile, back in real life, something else is happening. Derpy and sussy merch has taken over Korea. The National Museum reported a jaw-dropping 11.5 billion won in cultural merchandise sales in just 6 months. Pins, keychains, bookmarks, everything flying off shelves. Fans are wearing history on their backpacks, buying plushies based on centuries-old symbols. It's not nostalgia. It's a cultural revival, and then there's the moment that hits hardest. Jinu's haunting chorus near the end. The camera cuts briefly to Derpy, his seam tightens, like he's bracing for what's coming, and ready to carry the weight if no one else can. Next time you watch K-pop Demon Hunters, don't just focus on the demon fights or the neon lights. Watch Derpy. Watch Sussy. Watch Jinu. Derpy isn't just comic relief. He holds the team together when no one else can. Sussy doesn't chirp for laughs. She sees everything, speaks only when it matters. And Jinu? He isn't saved by a final boss battle. He's held together by 2 ancient symbols, disguised as plushies. Thanks for watching. What was your favorite moment with Derpy, Sussy, and Jinu? Drop it in the comments below. I'm K-Sweeper, bringing you stories you thought you knew, until the folklore whispered otherwise. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell. 4 chirps for perfect timing. Because next time, we're diving into another character you thought you understood, but didn't.